What's going on, my Destiny dudes? Alright guys, this is week number 4 of my control playlist, skill-based matchmaking, let's see what's going on and how things are going kind of thing. So this is my way of keeping track of what's been happening within the community as well as what's been happening from my own personal experience to see whether or not skill-based matchmaking is actually the devil that everyone seems to be making out to be. The first thing I want to go over with you guys is I always talk to you about what my key points for all this are. Now, I've got 3 major key points. And I'm going to add a 4th one, sort of. It's going to be tacked on to number 1. Basically, okay, key point number 1 is my own personal experience. Now, that includes the changes that have been made by Bungie with skill-based matchmaking. Now, when they said that it was loose skill-based matchmaking, you have me on record as saying it did not feel loose. It does feel as if it was loosened up a little bit this time around, and I'll explain what I mean from my own personal experience with that. Now, feedback and key point number 2 is feedback from other people. I always talk to my community and my Discord and just people in general about what their experiences are. I am in the higher level of the skill-based matchmaking brackets, and there's people on my friends list that are not at that level, and they're having a blast, and I'll talk about that as well. When everything's all said and done, my key point number 3 is my final thoughts moving forward, and what my honest-to-God, transparent as possible opinion is for everything that I have talked about within this video. So, if that has piqued your interest a little bit and you want to stick around, I really appreciate it. Alright guys, before we go forward, let's talk about the sponsor of today's video. As a coach and personal trainer, I wake up every single day at 4:15 to get ready. So you're getting a look at what my morning routine looks like on a daily basis. Cooking a little bit of food so I'm ready for my breakfast to get the day going the right way. And on top of that, I take my Prestige Lab supplements. Now, what you're looking at right there is Burn AM. I also use Test Storm. I have an entire stack of stuff that I use because this stuff is high quality and it works. They're manufactured by Whole Foods. They're CGMP certified. They are absolutely amazing. I cannot speak highly enough of them. They help me get through my day and have enough energy left over to have killer workouts. Now, here's the stack that I'm currently taking. It's called a 4-banger, but I also use the pre-step 1 to get me hyped up and ready for the workouts, especially after a long day. There are some days I work 12 hours, and it becomes a little bit hard for me to get going at that time. Now, after I've had my supplements, I'm good to go, baby. As you can see right there, this is me doing an upper body workout. This is a push-pull combination. I want you guys to see that I do all this on the regular. And if it weren't for Prestige, I would not hit this 1 rep max that you're looking at of 440 pounds on this trap bar deadlift. So, part of my recovery is power greens mixed in with protein shake. Put it in the little shaker bottle and shake away. What you're looking at now is an amazing and good tasting drink that has awesome benefits as well as protein, amino acids, and immune boosting benefit for you, the person trying to get in healthier shape. I personally recommend all of these products because I have tried all of these products as well as other people that have tried them have seen massive results in a short period of time. I want you guys to know something about Prestige that I haven't said or endorsed anything else before. They are the highest quality that is on the market right now. If you're using my code at checkout, Fitness and Gaming, you'll get 30% off. Okay, let's get right back to the video. Alright my dudes, let's get right into the video. So, I actually had to write down notes. I'm reading from a script. This is rare for me because my opinion is usually very well formulated before I come into these videos, so I don't necessarily have to read from a script because I do know what I'm talking about before I go into a video. There was a lot that went on in week number 4, so I had to write some stuff down. Forgive me if I sound like a robot. I don't know if I sound like that to you anyway. If I do, then whatever, I don't like you. So, let's go. Looser skill-based matchmaking and quitter penalties, and this is my own personal experience with all that. Okay, so, I want to discuss quitter penalty. I did do a video on this the other day. My opinion hasn't changed all that much from the other day, honest to God. Bungie implemented this because people were quitting matches. And they're hoping to curb all that by adding a punishment. Now, I don't agree with a video game having punishments. I think incentivization is a better way to get people to stick around in a match. But this is the route they chose, so we all have to deal with that. There you go. I don't care either way. I don't play this game competitively per se. It is a competitive game in nature by a lot of people because playing against other people online is competitive. Whether you're good at the game or not is really up to how much you practice, I guess. But in this sense, punishing people for not wanting to play a certain map, punishing people that had to leave because of one reason or another. For example, I got kids. If they need me, guess what? I'm leaving the match because this game is not my priority over my children, obviously. So it seems a little short-sighted in their I don't know, in their method here, but maybe it is just a band-aid solution until they figure out something better. I'm still willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. Don't know if you guys are still willing to do that or not. It's up to you. I won't tell you what to think in this regard. I don't necessarily care for it because I think there's better ways to do it, but there you go. They have quitter penalty, so if you quit a match, you're gonna be suspended for 30 minutes or whatever it is. Yeah, there it is. Alright, I will say this, that in regards to the whole looser skill-based matchmaking, it did seem as if it was in fact a little bit more loose. As you can see right here, I'm using an auto rifle. This is Quicksilver. It's a 720 round per minute auto rifle, which is not meta by any stretch of the imagination, and I'm having a wonderful game. That was nice. I don't mind going into a match, personally, with a competitive mindset, thinking I need to run the meta. That's just how this game would be playing until, or not until, but unless I decide to change that to something like, well, I'm going to try to have fun whether I win or lose. I don't like the thought of letting my team down. But the good thing about skill-based matchmaking being more tightly wound is that my teammates are usually better and I can run what I want to anyway. If, for example, my teammates are not as good, then yeah, running something like this loadout that you're looking at right here, the auto rifle and invisibility, not ideal, because then my teammates and myself are both going to get run over by a team running the full meta. Now luckily for me, that is not what happened. I actually found a couple of very key points from this previous week to happen, and I'm going to tell you not just the looser skill-based matchmaking side of it, but the fact of the matter, for me anyway, was this wasn't running as much like a comp playlist. This was running much more casual for me, with a occasional competitive match mixed in. That was really nice. I had more success playing around, not playing my quarters so tight, not having to disengage as often. I was able to do some ego challenges 1v1 with a non-meta loadout. That was really nice. So it does seem as if the looser skill-based matchmaking is in full swing, and I gotta be honest, that was kind of nice. I did enjoy that. Now, a couple of key points from my personal experience. It did seem as if less people were leaving matches, but I'll mention this. Disjunction is a problem for a map. That seems to be the map that people are willing to quit even if they're taking a penalty from Bungie. That map. Now, like I said, I'm competitive-minded when I have to be. I will try my best to play a map even if I don't like it, because it's something that I can learn. I can learn how to hold down a lane with a scout rifle and play different maps, specifically that one that I don't really enjoy, but I will play it if I have to. I did get mercied a few times from really good teams, and I was on the side of the team mercying the other team, so more mercies were happening in both directions. That was something that I've noticed from my own personal experience. But it does seem as if there's some kind of mix of lobby matchmaking and kill-death ratio matchmaking, perhaps? I'm not exactly sure, but it didn't feel all that uneven. I did feel as if I could have fun. I also felt as if there were people that were my caliber, sometimes better, sometimes not. It's been loosened up a little bit, and that's really nice, because I do play Control so that I can have fun. I play Trials if I want to compete. But, they're trying things out. I can appreciate that. One last thing from my personal experience is that I have noticed more people are trying to KD farm, meaning they're not playing objectives as much, because they're not going after the win. It seems as if they're going after the ultimate KD farming, whatever. So there is that going on as well. Take the good with the bad, I guess, huh? So to sum up my personal experience so far, there's been more mercies both directions. I've been able to loosen up my loadout so that I could actually have a little bit more fun using non-meta weaponry. And it does seem as if people are not happy with certain maps, so they do tend to quit even with a penalty being applied. Very, very specific maps. Those have been the things that I've noticed from this past week. Now, moving on to other players' feedbacks. The feedback that I have gotten from a lot of other players so far is that they're still having fun, but every now and then a game or two is incredibly rough on them and they have to play a lot tighter. It's really hard for me not to say welcome to my world, because I know they want to say that to me when I'm talking to them about skill-based matchmaking, and that's okay. Like I said, both directions seem to be competitively minded, but nobody wants to get stomped. This is where Bungie has an uphill battle. But, long and the short, feedback from other players so far has still been generally positive. I haven't had anyone come back to me yet so far that's on the lower percentage of, let's call it skill, and been like, oh my gosh, I'm getting destroyed now this past week. It hasn't been that way. They're still matching up people that are around their skill level, and they're still having a lot of fun playing at, the level that they're at, without feeling as if it's unfair to them in some way. Their matches have been much more close, from what I've been hearing, than my current matches. A lot of my matches are still being won or lost by 40 to 50 points, where theirs are within 10 points of each other. So their matches seem to be more competitive in the sense than my matches are, which I think is a little bit odd, but I don't know, maybe that's what Bungie's going for. Or maybe that just is coincidental. I don't know if causation is, whatever. Alright. So, quick recap, feedback from others. Doesn't seem like a whole lot has changed. They're still having a whole bunch of fun. They're still playing more often than they normally would. I haven't heard anyone playing for 3 hours or so like I heard last time, but they do seem as if they're playing more often and having more fun. And they want to be playing PvP, which is great. That's what I want for them. I want them to enjoy it the same way that we enjoy it. Okay, so next on the list is my final thoughts for everything. Let's go ahead and work through this one by one. My first final thought for this week number 4, week number 3 is Iron Banner, so I don't include that one. First final thought so far is that I don't know what to expect with what's going to happen in the future. It seems like they're playing a lot of fast and loose. I know map weightedness was a problem, and I do think the data is going to show that there are certain maps that people just do not prefer. Disjunction most likely being one of them. So I also believe with skill-based matchmaking being what it is, if they're going to make Control into a competitive playlist, then we probably need a freelance. Now, I did play less teams, or at least I seemed like I did. The most I played against was anywhere between 3 to 4 people tops. Now, if I played with a buddy, I definitely had the experience of having more teams than I was playing. So there is some weighting going on there. I'm not exactly sure what the ratios are, but it does seem as if there's weighting going on there. Freelance needs to become a thing. I do think that it is time for us to have map voting. Because if they're going to weight maps a certain way, I believe they should just give that option to the community. Let people vote for what they want, and then Bungie can take the data from that and create more maps around what people are finding to be popular or preferable. So, those are my final thoughts from my own personal experience. I do think that, competitively speaking, Control shouldn't be in the competitive playlist. They might as well give us Ranked. If they're going to do anything, Ranked would be a really great option. It should not be quick play, it's fun, as well as competitive. That's not what it's there for. The game mode Eruption proves that people could have really fun, chaotic nature about them and still have fun and play with a connection-based lobby. And that's what people were preferring, and it was a success, I believe, because people were having a raw, like new type of fun, raw fun, with a brand new game mode, and they were able to have it with a better connection, less latency, less people quitting. So there's that. I do think that other people having fun in this game and learning how to play PvP is a good protective mechanism for newer individuals. So now that brings up outlier protection. I don't honestly know what the pros and cons of outlier protection would be, but it does seem like that should be considered as an option if they're trying to protect new lights and new players. Because I feel the same way. I don't want to stomp on someone that's brand new to the game. That's not a good experience for someone that I would like to welcome into the community. But maybe that's just me. Alright, my dudes, thank you so much for your time today. Got any questions, comments, concerns, or whatever your experiences are, make sure you leave them down below. Remember to thank my sponsor. Make sure you guys check out Prestige Labs. The link will be in the description. If you want 30% off all Prestige Labs products, make sure you type in fitness and gaming when you check out. For an additional 10% off, you guys could subscribe to a monthly, it sends you monthly basically, and that's a total of 40% off. If you don't want to do that, you could get the 40% off, then delete your order after you receive everything. You would have gotten the maximal discount of 40% and got the products for the month for you to try them out. Alright, my dudes, thank you so much for your time. Keep it zen out there. Love all you guys. And I will see you guys in the next one.